Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. We're in my bathroom because today I'm going to be cleaning my makeup brushes, which I haven't done in a long time, way longer than I think I'm willing to admit on camera. But I just like dumped out both my containers of brushes. I have like one container for face brushes and one for eye brushes, and I dumped them out because they need to be cleaned. They're like just filthy on the inside and they need to be taken care of. And I realized my brushes, A, are filthy, and B, I have so many brushes. Like, I think since the last time I really took inventory and cleaned them and organized them, I think my brush collection has grown a lot. I'll put a video here on the screen that I took of all my brushes like spread out. It's absurd. I'm gonna count them in a second because I really just want to know like how many total brushes I have, but it's a lot. And I figured now that I've like dumped them out and they're all over the place and I'm cleaning the containers, I might as well clean the brushes too. I have definitely been getting some breakouts, and I can't help but sometimes wonder if the brushes that I'm using have anything to do with that, because a lot of times it's like right over here where my bronzer is, or you know, I feel like the best bet is to just clean them. Whether that's a problem or not, I can't really be sure. Today I'm going to be cleaning all my brushes, so I actually just went and counted those just because I really wanted to know how many brushes we're gonna be cleaning in this video, and I counted 101 brushes, which I feel like is a weird number to land on. I feel like that's just kind of like a coincidental number to have, and I also feel like having over 100 brushes is a little bit ridiculous, so I think we're gonna have to make some cuts. I think I'm just gonna clean them all and just go through them afterwards rather than trying to like decide ahead of time. So I'm just gonna clean them all, and then I'll probably pass them on like to my sister. If and when I do pass them along, at least I'll know that they're clean for them. So we're just gonna go through and clean all of my 101 brushes today. 101 Dalmatians, that's like the first thing I thought of. But I wanted to show you all the products I'm gonna be using. As you can probably tell, I don't clean my brushes a lot, so I really am not like super high tech or do anything like super fancy, but I have a couple of ride or die products and they're super affordable. So I've been using the e.l.f. brush shampoo for years. I've repurchased this a lot of times. It's super affordable and it does a really good job. But even better than that, this is also from e.l.f. This is their solid cleanser. It comes in this little container, which is really nice, so you can store it. You can see I've used this a ton, but it's just like a solid bar, and what I do is I just like get this wet, leave it in the container, and literally just like zhuzh the brush around in this, which I found is honestly even easier than using something like this, because you don't need like a separate dish. You don't have to like fill up the sink with water and like put soap in the sink or put soap in a separate bowl. You can just kind of use this to kind of like squish your brush around. You'll obviously see once I do it, and like really like get the gunk out of it, and it's all kind of self-contained. And then I have one of these little cleaning mats. This is just from the Target dollar spot, I think from a while back, but it was like $3 or something, and it's actually nice. It's got little suction cups on the back, so you can suction cup it to your counter or to your sink or like whatever surface you're doing it on. And no matter which cleaner you end up using, this is just nice to be able to kind of like really use the texture on here to get like way inside the bristles and like really get kind of deep in there and get everything out. And then of course this just rinses off. It's just made of silicone. So those are the products that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to probably fast forward the cleaning portion of this video so that this is not a 2.5 hour video, because I imagine this is going to take me a while to film. I feel like it's kind of satisfying sometimes watching like cleaning in sped up version. Like, I love watching that. I figured this might just be kind of fun to watch someone speed clean 101 brushes. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to get started, and I will just obviously catch up with you guys at the end. I don't even know how long I'm going to be here for. I'm going to have to dog up with like a podcast or something, because this is gonna be a production. So obviously we're in my sink, so this is, I'm hoping that this is like a good angle, but because I showed you guys this is like a suction cup kind of thing, I just attached it to the inside of the sink. the last thing I'm gonna do, I have all the brushes all laid out on this like just kind of junky towel here. Now that I've cleaned them all and rinsed them, I'm just gonna like kind of dry them a little bit and get any like residual water in the brush that's still like a little bit dirty. This will obviously just kind of speed up the drying process. Not that I need them anytime soon, but it'll speed up the process and just get any like residual grossness off of them. So I'm gonna sit here and just kind of really quick wipe these off, and then I'm gonna move on to my eye brushes. I've already been doing this for I think 30 something minutes, and I just haven't even started my eye brushes. And I have a lot more eye brushes. I think I counted like 30 something face brushes, which means I have like 70 something or 60 something eye brushes. However, eye brushes are obviously a lot smaller, so I think those will be a lot quicker, and I can do a couple at one time. Just finished all the brushes. I obviously changed because I was wearing like a big Sherpa, and I was getting too hot, and I didn't want to get like makeup splatter all over it. That took me like almost an hour which is ridiculous, and probably why I don't wash my brushes all that often. However, I don't really use all 101 of these brushes like every single day, so probably some of them weren't even dirty and may not have even been used the last time I washed them, so some of them might not even need to be washed, but that's probably why I don't wash them a lot, because it's like such an undertaking. But now I have all these brushes super clean. What I love is when you can see like the colors that the brushes are supposed to be come back, because obviously usually like this is not pink and this is not green. It's usually like brown or, you know, black, or just a completely different color. So it's nice seeing the bristles all nice and pearly white. It's like probably the most satisfying part, in addition to seeing all the gunk run down the sink. I love that. I love that part. I'm gonna go through these and make some cuts really quick. So before I wrap up this video, I'll just show y'all real quick how many I'm able to get rid of, which ones I'm thinking that I'm not gonna really need. Hopefully I can pare it down a bit. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna do many, if any, eye brushes, because I mean I have a lot of eye brushes. Like I said, there's like whatever 60 something in this stack here. So there's a lot, and I probably don't need this many, but then again, I have plenty of room in my eye brush container, so I don't need to pare them down, but I should. So I'm gonna do that. I did medium good. I picked out a lot of face brushes, which is honestly what I needed to make the most cuts in, because a lot of these are just so like thick and fat. They take up so much room in my little like canister that I just can't fit any more brushes. So I just found that I have a lot of just kind of like these big, super fluffy kind of round brushes for, you know, kind of like doing bronzer and stuff like that. I have a lot, so I just picked these two that I don't really need those. This is kind of a similar concept, just like a really big kind of, this is a little more tapered, but kind of a big fluffy blending brush. I really don't need that. This one's actually pretty new, and I've been using this a bunch, but this is just too flimsy. Like this, it just doesn't really hold its shape. It's too flimsy to even really pick up product like out of the pan, like blush or bronzer. So that one I'm just not crazy about. This one has just kind of like seen better days. It's just kind of gross, and I don't know. I sometimes use this for foundation, but it's like not really dense enough for foundation, but it's not really like a good shape for powder. I just don't know what to do with that brush ever. Kind of similar with this brush. This is also fairly new, but it's a little bit of a weird shape. Like it's not really big enough for powder, but it's not really like fluffy enough for like bronzer. So again, I don't really find a lot of use out of that. And then same with these kind of brushes. I usually never end up holding on to these kind of brushes for very long, because like I don't do really a lot of chiseling, you know, in terms of my makeup, so that's not really necessary. So I got rid of a bunch of those. And then in terms of eye brushes, I didn't do that good, because again, I find that having multiples of the same kind of eye brush really like isn't a problem. Like sometimes one is dirty, or sometimes you just reach for a different one over another. So I don't really find it a problem having multiples of the same type of eye brush. I think that's actually kind of useful, but I definitely didn't need like 3 or 4 of each kind. I had a lot of these like really just kind of stumpy, kind of like just flat shaders, a lot of them. I kept like 2 or 3, but I just like I said, I don't need 4 or 5, so I'm cutting those. This is like one of the Anastasia brushes that just like comes in the palette, and this blending brush like sucks. You can probably even tell just by looking at it. It's just super frayed out. It's not soft. The brush on this side isn't bad, but I mean, it's not that useful. This brush is actually a really old like Coastal Scents brush. It's just super just like nubby and like dense. Like it doesn't really blend. It's a weird like length and shape. I never find myself reaching for that, so I don't think I need that one. This is actually kind of a fairly new one too. It's kind of like a flat shader kind of concept, but it's angled, and it's like I just don't know what to use this brush for. It just doesn't seem like it's a good like length or shape or anything. And then this is actually a blending brush from Target. I've had this brush probably for my whole entire life, but it's not really in good shape. It's not very soft. It's super old, so it just doesn't perform that well. So I'm gonna pass these along, either see if my sister or my mom wants them, or just get rid of them. So I feel good that I at least made a couple cuts, trim some of the fat. But that is going to be pretty much everything for this video. I know it wasn't like the most exciting video ever, but I figured I was already doing it, and I've never done a video like this showing like how I clean my brushes and doing like a little mini declutter of my brushes, so I thought it might be interesting to include in this video, and I hope that you guys did enjoy. Like I mentioned, I will link the brush cleaning products that I use in this video down below in case y'all are interested. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here, and until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye guys.